So my talk today is about IoT and how mobile operators can extend their reach beyond the current cellular network, which ends with the NB-IoT or LTE-M units, to reach the low power, low complexity, tiny endpoints, IoT sensors, and monetize the existing infrastructure without any change to the infrastructure or even the GSMA inter-operator agreement. And that's my talk. So, let me see. So 4G and 5G IoT services today stop at the LTE-M or NB-IoT units. They do not extend beyond that and do not include the tiny low-end sensors that you find pretty much everywhere these days. If you listen to Gartner research, there will be about 20 billion devices next year or in the next 2 years out there. Those IoT-enabled devices, a big portion of those will be low power, low complexity sensors and endpoint devices with very limited capacity in terms of compute power, very limited capacity in terms of battery power, and without any protection, SIM or otherwise today. They're absolutely not secure, and that's where the data is being captured. Now, the growth of real-time IoT data will provide the largest growth or segment of the growth of the IoT data in the near future. And these IoT data are becoming more vital, especially in automated operations powered by machine learning or AI systems. And we saw the previous presenters talk to you about the problem associated with capturing trillions of bytes of data, okay, and these data is being captured by the sensors. In some cases, they are life critical, especially in health applications, as you can imagine. But there are very many examples of how critical these data are. So, data coming from sensors fed into automated operations. Think about if you want the Lion Air Boeing 737 crash that happened in Indonesia, and you see the role of sensor data in automated systems and what it does into systems without human operators in the middle. Okay, and that's going to be the case more and more in the future. So that's why we believe that it's important to secure the data coming for the low-end sensors, and that's not being done today by the cellular network. In fact, according to IDC, 90% of the data that will be captured by 2025 will need to be secure, and only 50% of them will be secure. So there's a vast area of growth for cellular operators if you're capable of servicing those low-end, tiny sensors at the far end of your network. IoT security, year after year, survey after survey, has always been the #1 concern when deploying IoT networks. And that's possibly one of the reasons when you do not see a large number or large-scale IoT deployments in the world, because that problem has not been solved today. Okay, there are many solutions out there, each addressing a segment of the market, but very few, as a matter of fact, to address the very low end of the IoT networks. All of them are focusing on platforms, on the cloud, on systems that have enough processing power, but not at the low end. Endpoint security is a necessity for many IoT verticals. I can give you examples in precision agriculture, wearables, smart cities, smart buildings, industrial IoT, so-called Industry 4.0, of course, autonomous vehicles. You can see the reasons why you need to secure the data being captured by the sensors, and smart infrastructure. Think about the damages or the chaos that can be created if you were to hack into the sensors and just change some of the data. Think about the consequences of cyber attack on a smart city if you were to change the traffic information on the port or airport operations, on water distribution system, power grid, traffic systems, routes, rail systems. And that scenario is very, very realistic. There are many articles about how vulnerable the network is in many countries and how you can bring down a whole country, as a matter of fact, by attacking the sensors. And that has happened, in fact, in Ukraine a few years ago, done by a nation state, and can happen anytime in the future. So securing low complexity IoT sensors, it's not a very easy thing to do. There are many design challenges. The most obvious one being, of course, the limited capacity of those endpoint devices. They're very hardware constrained, they have very minimum compute power, very minimum battery capacity, they're extremely low cost. We're not talking about tens or 20s or $30 and so on. Many of the sensors are in the single-digit dollar or euro range. These are the sensors that need to be protected. Of course, a SIM-based security approach may not be feasible because of the cost and the power requirement of a SIM approach. There are also some challenges that you as mobile operators will understand with regards to spectrum management, authenticating millions or billions of devices at the same time. So these are major challenges from an operator standpoint. And of course, you do not want to change your existing infrastructure, IP infrastructure, anything that's already been in place. You don't want to have any change in that. So a new approach is needed, and for that you need to think about the security solutions with several design considerations, and we listed 5 of them here. They range from an effective and scalable security and authentication system, a low network and system impact, low footprint encryption, low power drain, low cost, of course. So let me review those 5 design considerations for you to understand how difficult it is to design security solution that will address the needs of the low power, low complexity IoT sensors and endpoints. Let's start with effective and scalable authentication and security solution. First of all, you need to have an encryption technology that's not homegrown. In fact, it has to be commercially available. It has to be released, reviewed, and vetted by the crypto community. Why? You don't want, after you have installed a few million devices, to find out that your encryption is easily hackable. So that's why you want to go with an encryption technology that's been vetted by the crypto community at large. We use symmetrical key encryption. So the keys are private, they're being shared between the 2 endpoints, and each endpoint has a different set of keys, and they're unique to that endpoint. So to make your solution very effective, you want to make sure that a single breach will not compromise the entire network. On top of that, you can change the key for each transmission, so it makes it very, very difficult for any hacker to guess what the key is going to be during that transmission. Don't forget that those IoT sensors send very short and infrequent messages, so it will take years for a hacker to gather enough information to figure out how the communication works between the 2 points. Okay? And then remember that we change the key, or we can change the key at every transmission. So I don't like it would make a lot of sense for the hacker to hack that transmission, to just compromise one endpoint and do it all over again in the next one. So that's a lot of work for an IoT network. We use a registration model that's based on a HRC VLC, very similar to a GSM, and you know for sure, all of you know for sure, it's built with high scalability in man, proven with billions of devices out there in the field. And then we're developing ML AI-based predictive model to detect and predict malware. So when you have millions of devices out there, it's very difficult to figure out when there's a malware in progress and what's going to happen next and so on. So you need to have some kind of ML AI tool to edit that, to detect that and predict that. And that's a very, very unique solution that we are developing and also patenting. It's based not on looking at every data that's been going through the networks. That would be impossible with the trillions of bits, bytes going through the networks. But we know and detect when there's hacking in progress, and we can analyze that, use natural language processing to figure out the footprint or of that hacker and predict future ones. Okay, so it's very intelligent systems that need to come along with the IoT security solutions. It's a backend system. So let's go review the second point, which was a low system and network impact. The very first one for you operators. Our solution is completely compatible with the GSMA interoperators agreements that you have negotiated. It took years for you to negotiate that. You don't have to change that. I think that's one of the most important features that you would think about when you're implementing a solution. Is that we need to renegotiate the GSMA interoperator agreements, and that's not the case. Okay, our implementation is very similar to GSM. We use the same frame structure. The numbering plan is very similar. So the conversion mapping of a solution into an existing GSM infrastructure is fairly easy, right? Second thing, you don't need to have a hardware redesign or adding a new security chip. I mentioned before that low cost is a major issue, so anything that requires you to redesign the hardware or add a security chip or add cost is not an option. You want your solution obviously to be totally IoT platform and IoT processor agnostic, so it works on all kinds of IoT solutions out there in the field. You want your solution to be obviously wireless agnostic, not only with the wireless technology that you use as operator, but all the other wireless technologies out there that would feed the data into your network, whether it's Bluetooth LE, Zigbee, Z-Wave, Wi-Fi, you name them, LoRa, etc. And then finally, of course, you don't want to change anything in your infrastructure. It should be IP topology and architecture agnostic. No change in the routing, no change in the firewall, no change in all of those. But the key is for you to perfect and get it working. Third point, low footprint encryption. You're dealing with a world of very low end, low power, low complexity. You're dealing with very tiny sensors with very limited headrooms in terms of processing power and battery capacity. So you need to design a solution that takes only very, very few bits, hundreds of bits, not even a kilobit, as a matter of fact, to fit into the endpoint devices and do not only encryption, but device authentication. It has to be easy to implement by any third party. Fourth point, low power trend. Power trend is a major factor in low-end devices. You cannot put a solution that would eat too much power. If you add one message for every transmission, you would cut the battery life in half. So battery life that has been designed for 10 years will now be a 5-year, will now have a 5-year life. And that's not possible because you cannot change the battery in the field. That's too costly. So you have to minimize power consumption. And then you have multiple techniques for that, but the biggest power consumption is wireless transmission. And wireless transmission means that you cannot accept to send multiple messages for authentication. You cannot even increase the size of the messages because that consumes more power. So everything that you do has to limit the number of messages that are being exchanged and the length of messages, among other things. Low cost. The device vendors count cost in fraction of a cent. You know, this is a very, very different world, okay? When you say, oh, it only costs $1 per month for the service and so on, you can't imagine the conversation we're having with device vendors, okay? They're literally analyzing every fraction of a cent or a dollar as a cost. So you need to figure out a way not to ask them to do any kind of redesign or change, let's say, the 8-bit CPU into a 30-bit ARM processor. That would be a gigantic step for them in terms of cost, and we would destabilize the whole cost structure. You also need to make sure that communication costs are kept very low, and what we're recommending is that you're decoupling the IoT sensors from the NB-IoT or LTE-M units. So you're basically collecting data from the sensors using license-free wireless technologies and collecting them at the LTE-M or NB-IoT unit and then aggregating all the data before passing that into the cellular networks. With that approach, your cost structure makes sense. You can now deploy very large-scale IoT networks and protect your network from low-end competitors. So this is kind of a simplified diagram of where we fit, and it's pretty easy. We fit at the very top there. So, whoops. So the red pocket, that's where we fit. We're securing the last leg of the network. That's between the LTE-M and the IoT unit to the sensors. The last slide is the one that we have. The point that we have is that we have GSM DNA in us, so we are, our founders came from the GSM industry, and the solutions that we have been designed to fit perfectly into the existing infrastructure. Thank you very much.